Hey, good morning, everyone. It is time for After 9, everybody's favorite social media show. At least it should be here on Facebook and YouTube. And it's Mike and Lisa from AM800. And Lisa, yesterday you were telling us about your vaccine. How are you feeling today?
You know, it's funny. I feel fine. Like I've got like a sore arm, which is usual, right? When you get a vaccine, that the area where you got the injection, it's more sore today than it was yesterday. And somebody texted me earlier. It said, "Oh yeah, it'll be sore for a week." So I've got that to look forward to. But I'm like, "Oh no, I feel fine." And then this morning we had all kinds of people texting, "Oh, really? Well, it could hit you later where,
Ooh.
you get a headache and a fever and like a stomach ache." And then it's like the power of suggestion. Now I'm like, "Oh, you know what? I think I'm a little warm. Losing my appetite. I'm not that hungry." Yeah. So I don't know.
Puts
I
it
don't
in
know
your
how
brain, right?
Mm-hmm. And you know what? I'm always tired. There's never a moment I'm not tired. So I don't know if I'm extra tired because of the shot or not.
Nah, it could be.
But
Could be. Yeah, what's the deal with that? Is that just a sign of getting older? Because I feel the same way. I feel like I'm always tired. Sometimes I'm just not as tired as other days.
right. I think it comes with our job.
Yeah, that could be. That could be. I don't know if other people feel the same way. Let us know. You can comment on the thread this morning. Okay, coming up, why one listener thinks I'm a genius and hidden treasure found. This is a story from one of our listeners that found a hidden treasure, and it's funny because someone in my family just this morning emailed me one that was found. So we'll get to
Really?
that. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like kind of a theme this morning for some reason all of a
Hmm.
sudden. And yes, Jason, I did change locations. Behind me is where I normally was, and then you see the background that's now in front of me. I am planning a little project back there, so I had to move my desk.
Oh, well, what's the project? Another
Building
lumbernizer?
No, I got my lumberizer all set. I'm going to build like a standing desk.
Wow. I just see so many things going wrong. Like I'm just like, just leave it. Don't
Leave it
change
the way
any
it was.
wires because the show's not going to be the same.
Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. So hopefully, I don't know, next week I'll have the standing desk all set. I have a tall chair so that if I want to sit, I'll be able to. I got to make the dimensions right, the heights right, the monitors right, all that stuff. Elbows at 90 degrees.
Wow, really?
Yep. So for an average size gentleman like myself, about 5'10", 5'11", it's like 44 inches high has to be the table. And then you got to adjust where the monitors you're looking, right? Like directly into the middle of the monitor. So then there has to be a stand or a shelf with the monitors a little higher.
Right.
From what I understand, from my research.
I think you should ask the radio station to pay for that.
I can ask. I know the answer. Back to you.
Yes, very good. Hey, all right. I like this. A new study identifies the 6 types of radio listeners.
Okay. Oh, the 6 types. So these are the people that are in our audience, I assume?
Not necessarily our audience. There are people called radio heads, which is 9% of the listeners, and they listen for all audio needs, news, music, whatever it is. They listen to the radio. And that's 9% of people. Then there's the connection seekers, which is 16% of listeners, and they listen for company and connection. They want to connect to people. So I would imagine that would be a good chunk of our listeners, right? Connection seekers.
I would hope so.
Then there's infomaniacs, and that's definitely our listeners. Listen for news and information and useless information like on this show. Then there's people who listen for music. And then they're called the rhythm rockers. And then there's laid back listeners. They only have it on in the background. Only in the background.
Yeah, well, they're getting ready or they're at work or whatever it might be. Okay.
And then there's habitualists. And they listen to radio when it's the only option available. when there's nothing else, I guess I'll listen to the radio.
Nothing on TV. I got nothing to read. Nothing on the internet. I've been through the entire internet. Let's turn on Mike and Lisa.
There's a good chunk of people that were interviewed that said that, even in COVID, that radio has become an even more important platform for them and a more important part of their lives. Even with the growth in online audio and other options, that radio has become, and I would imagine it's because, like our show, for example, is local, right? And we know what people want to hear. So I think they know they can get it from us, whereas some other streaming service or one that doesn't connect to the local aspect of it, they wouldn't get it. That makes sense?
That makes sense to me. I like it. I like it. So is that all, what'd you say, 6? We got all 6 in?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I always refer to like our very loyal listeners that have us on like all day or at least all morning as P1s. That's kind of an industry term. Like we are your first choice. The dial doesn't move and we're on all morning, and we love those people.
Yes, we love the P1s.
Love the P1s. Absolutely. Jacinta says, Mike, this is a good spot for you. Good lighting. Oh, well, thank you.
Better lighting than before. You were kind of in the dark. Oh. So are you going to, when you make your desk, your stand-up desk, are you going to think about lighting too?
I guess I have to now. I didn't think of that before, but I guess I'll have to. I'm in front of a window, so maybe that's why.
That's the perfect light.
The natural light, so.
Or, you could just buy a ring light like me.
Yeah, I could get one of those.
Like Mike so much. When I first saw his picture, sounds completely different than he looks. Isn't that always the way when people hear you before they see you? I remember somebody saying to me once, years ago, I went to like a school to read books to kids or something. And this one lady said, you're Lisa? I said, yep. Oh, well, and she was so disappointed. She said, I thought you were taller and with darker hair. And I'm like, oh, sorry. But she was like mad. She's mad.
Really? She was mad, upset about this.
You're not how I pictured you to be.
Oh, my God. Jeez. Well, I think a lot of the mystery has been taken out of the radio announcer, DJ, talk show host, whatever, because of stuff like this and,
and social
websites
media
with photos and all that stuff. So. It is a little bit different now, that's for sure. So, all right, well, the mystery's gone. Okay, so now why one listener this morning thought and thinks I'm a genius?
Yes, please enlighten us.
Okay,
genius
so
one.
We got a text this morning from one of our listeners who said, hey, you guys are cutting out all the time. So I text them back to say, well, how are you listening to us? Are you online? Are you on your smart speaker? What's the deal? Radio, whatever it is. And I said, well, so I asked them and they said, I'm listening on my smart speaker. I said, well, we haven't had any other complaints, so I'm not sure. So, well, it's still happening. What should I do? So I said, and maybe my future is in tech and engineering, unplug it and plug it back in.
And then did you say jiggle the wire?
I did not. That was going to be my next piece of advice, but the unplugging and plugging back in worked for said listener. We were back in full power on his or her smart speaker.
Isn't that funny? That works for so many things.
It's amazing.
Right?
Amazing.
Unplug and plug back in.
Yep.
So then they called you a genius, this person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow.
Which I agreed with.
Yeah. Yes, I know you do. Okay, great. Hey, I know which story you're going to relay from this morning as somebody texted us. And I think it's so cool when people are doing renovations. Like you hear stories like this all the time, right? You're doing renovations and you tear open a wall or you lift up a piece of wallpaper and there's some message there, or they find like, I don't know, buried treasure or old bottles from 1843. So this one texter had a story I thought was cool.
Yeah, this was from Linda this morning. It says, listen every day from 7 till 9. And my son lives in the house his wife grew up in and laying a new floor in the family room. So they were removing the old floor, the old linoleum, and they found newspapers underneath. And he picked one up, thought, oh, this is kind of cool. I've done that before, too. You find an old newspaper somewhere, I don't know, for some reason, and you pick it up. And he thought he'd read an ad, caught his eye for an ad for a motorcycle. And then he noticed the wedding picture announcements, and the couple of it was of his parents.
Now, this was her parents' home.
Yes.
Right?
But it was his parents in the announcement in the photo. How weird is that?
It's very weird.
56 years ago, what are the chances finding that exact article? So, did anybody else find something like this? Like when they were remodeling or just looking through their house for some reason? I don't know. It could be a remodeling, taking out a floor, opening up a wall or something, and you found something really crazy like this, whatever it is. Whether it was just a piece of garbage or like somebody had hidden something in there, or if it was something related to you. But I thought that was really, really cool.
Yeah. And Diana, that's fate. They're meant to be together. I kind of think so. Could you imagine? It's like when I first read it, I'm like, well, that's not too far-fetched because it was his parents' house and okay. But it wasn't. It was her parents' house.
Yeah. How crazy is that? Because I would assume if it was her parents in that article, in the announcement, it wouldn't be under the floor. Like I would think it would be saved somewhere. But just newspaper, throw it in there. And then like all the things that had to happen in the universe for them to meet, get together, get a house together, decide to remodel and find that paper and it's his parents. Mind blown.
That is so great. That is so great. And I'm sure there's a lot of stories like that. Especially in older homes.
Yes, big time, big time. And then I just got an email after our show this morning, and a relative of mine sent this over to my parents, and then it was forwarded to me that they found in her mom's like kind of archives. You're familiar with my Aunt Betty, right?
Yes, the one that put the chips in the fridge.
Chips in the fridge, right next to the Air Force Club. Put the pennies on the train tracks, and go to Chicago Market for pink popcorn too. She found in the archives from Aunt Betty this death announcement from my great grandpa.
Your great grandpa?
Yeah, I believe this would be my dad's grandfather, and it would be my great grandpa.
Wow. Wait.
And
great or just great?
Oh, great.
Right? Just
great,
one great.
One great for me. Yeah, yes. One great for me.
Okay. Your dad's grandpa and your great grandpa. Wow.
Yeah. It's kind of a blurry picture, but kind of the profile looks like my dad.
Is that right?
Wow. Yeah, a little bit.
And he was the Hungarian, so he's the one that started it all.
He started it all. Mr. Kukuk was born in Hungary, lived in Windsor for 28 years, member of the of St. Anthony's Roman Catholic Church, and on, the funeral of Janice Brothers.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So, wow, that's very cool.
Yeah. So that was another thing we found, I guess, from the archives. Just
grandchildren
today.
And 5 great-grandchildren. So you would have been one of the great-grandchildren? So were you alive?
No, I couldn't have been alive.
What year was this that he passed?
That's a good question. Let's see if I have that information here. Let's see. Today's his birthday. Would have been his birthday. Sharing
Get the researchers on this.
He was born April 21st, 1883, died October 19th, 1957 at 74 years old. So no, I'm not even in the ballpark.
Wait a minute. So maybe it is your great. I'm confused.
I am too.
Because if he has great grandchildren and you're not one of them.
Yeah.
Right? Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah, no. Well, I don't know.
Or is it you?
Well, there must be other.
Oh, I feel like this is math.
Yeah, it kind of is. I don't know. Yeah, 13 grandchildren, 5 great grandchildren. Well, my dad is like the youngest of everybody, so I don't know.
Get your dad on the phone. Who sent that to you?
This was from my dad.
From who?
From my dad. He forwarded
Oh, okay.
it to me.
Then he would know.
I guess. I'll have to find out more, I guess. I don't know. That's all I got.
So he died before you were born. So
Yeah.
you could not have been part of the great grandchildren that were mentioned then.
No.
Oh, I like stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
I
cool.
like those. I like those TV stories where they, and they get celebrities involved and they look at their past and they go way back. And I'm always amazed at what is documented. Like I can't even keep, an important note on the counter, let alone all of the birth records and whatever and diaries of everybody in my family. I think that's so cool. But back then, that's how people were, right? They documented everything. They all kept diaries. Everything was, beautiful handwriting and everybody wrote letters to one another. And so that makes sense that they could find that stuff. But I just think it's so neat, especially when the celebrities break down and cry. Or they realize, oh my
that's
God,
your
I had
favorite
a
part.
murderer in my family. Maybe your great grandfather was a murderer.
Oh, you never know. A little excitement in the Hungarian side of the family. Yeah, that could be. Let's see. Anybody find hidden treasures? Jason says, I think they found artifacts of A-bars when it was torn down. I wouldn't be surprised from Prohibition. They did find some stuff at A-bars. Yeah, they certainly did. I forget exactly what that was, but yeah, there was some stuff found for sure. Another beautiful building gone. Originally was the Island View Hotel back in 1904, that building. A-bars.
I have, don't take this the wrong way, I think I've danced around the pole that they had there. They had a stripper pole on the stage. And I don't know why they kept it there. I don't even know why it was there in the first place because I don't think it was ever a strip club, was it? No. But for some reason, like on the stage or the dance floor, it was there. Yeah. Maybe a good memory.
Yeah, good times, eh? Good times right there. Okay, did we cover everything? Are we good? Did buried treasure? Was there something else? So I think that's it, right?
Yes.
Okay. Kaylee Lynn says A-bars was creepy upstairs. Oh my.
I don't think I ever ventured upstairs, Kaylee. Why did you? What's up there? Tell us. Were there rooms up there? Probably.
Well, if it was a hotel originally, hotel, then Holiday Inn, more than likely there was something up there. Yeah, that's where the call girls brought the men of the day coming off the ships.
After they jumped off the pole. All right, well, that's good.
All right. Tomorrow on the program, $1,000 trivia. We'll play again. We are still searching for a $1,000 winner. Lisa and I have our big doubts that we will ever find a $1,000 winner to get all 10 out of 10.
Honestly, there's a lot of radio stations that play this game, and their questions are way harder than ours. And I'm assuming they find winners, right? Or maybe they don't.
I don't know. Eventually,
joke's on you.
Sounds cool. Maybe you're the one. I don't know. Tomorrow at 7:50 is your chance, though. So if you think you're a smarty pants and you think our questions are easy, step up to the plate and let's see what you got.
Let's give it a go.
Yeah, take a swing.
Yes.
$1,000 trivia.
Yes. We look forward to that. Okay, try it and we'll see.
All right, I'm going to find out exactly today who this Mr. K-Cook is in this. Maybe he's like an uncle then or something. I don't know. Who knows? I assumed he was like some kind of grandparent, great-grandparent. But
well, what's your dad's name? Jim.
Jimmy.
So is Jim mentioned in there as oh, he wouldn't be because it just said grandchildren. It didn't say names, right?
No.
Yeah.
It's definitely not my grandpa.
No. What was your dad's name? What's your grandpa's name?
I think it was John.
Hmm.
I don't know. He died. Both my, I'm very lucky to have my grandmother who is 104 because all my other grandparents I don't really know or remember because they all died when either I was a little kid or before I was born.
The other three.
Yeah.
Yeah, your grandma's amazing.
Yep. Great. Talked to her
104.
last night.
She's just so great. And it's good for you that you talk to her a lot like that. I'm sure she loves it.
Yep. She's hoping for good luck that this pandemic will be over soon and she can resume her outside life from the walls of Kensington. She said, cross your fingers and cross your legs. She told me.
What'd she say?
Cross your fingers and cross your legs. I don't know what she meant exactly by cross your legs, extra luck or something else, but that's what Grandma had to say last night.
That's awesome.
Sylvie wants to know, can we Google the answers? Well, you only got 60 seconds, so that's not going to work.
Who is this man and how is he related to Mike K. Cook? All right, go do your research and let us know tomorrow, would you?
And I'm going to go build a desk, too. Get
Okay.
back to my normal spot behind there with my lions and tigers.
I'm gonna go feel unwell because I got my shot yesterday and I think I'm supposed to. So
Yeah, Sandra's very concerned.
well, I think she's concerned because I'm coughing. That's normal.
Yeah, what's wrong? Is that part of the vaccination side effects? Or you
Kinda
tried
wish it
lemon
was.
water or tea, a warm drink maybe for that?
Have you tried gargling?
All right. On that note, we will talk to you later. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 5 to 9.